I will turn it over to Dr. Brett Brimhall.
Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate it. Actually, I remember meeting your wife and you that first time. It was in San Antonio. And somebody asked me, how did a guy like you end up in a place like this? I was kind of asking myself that same question. Because I, never done network marketing before, never saw myself doing it. But I have something inbred in me from the time I was little that I like helping people. I love teaching. I like making a difference. I learned it from my mom and dad real early on. And that's what I felt with LifeVantage, that people, I had no idea what to get myself into at that point in time, but grateful for the journey. And I also appreciate your honesty and like sitting on the sidelines and supporting your wife. I actually would like to see pictures of you in a cheerleading outfit though. That might be kind of fun for us. My wife's been, I'm grateful to have a wife that's by my side and has helped me through this process, not only this, but other things. So, and I respect everybody's time. So thank you for being here. And Sean, the first person I met actually in LifeVantage outside of my sponsor, Carrie, was Sean and Michelle. I actually flew to South Dakota and met the scientists. So you all are hopping on a Zoom. I hopped on an airplane, flew to South Dakota to get my questions answered. So yeah, my background is in the clinical side of things. I've been training physician for a long time. Love nutrition, love chiropractic, love helping people. But when I saw that little boy, I'd worked there every week for a year, literally do a 180 after he started taking the Axial drink. I couldn't believe it. If I hadn't seen it, I wouldn't have believed myself. But I knew there's something fundamentally different about the products this company was making. So I'm going to take you on a little journey. So being that I spent the last 25 years training physicians on supplements my dad formulated and I helped with, I have a unique perspective on this product. We have a very unique product that either you will end up using now or in the future once you understand it. It's whether or not you want it before you need it. But it also, we'll talk about a business that I'm grateful to be a part of because it's given me options that I didn't have before and ways to help other people that I have before. So I'm going to kind of tell you a little story a bit. So I'm going to share my screen. So give me 1 second. And I get it, Kyle, when you're learning technology, whew, it's a journey. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you can see that. Good? All right. So LifeVantage literally began in a lab, and it's very unique. Most nutritional supplements that my dad formulated, we came from a process. We'd find people that weren't doing well, so we'd combine different products and ingredients to try to figure out this product was born out of a laboratory, which is very, very unique. And so I'm going to show you a video here in just a second, and you're going to get a perspective that when you watch it, I want you to keep in mind, like, if this is really real, like, who might this help? Right? And if this is really real, what if I could build a business around this? You're about ready to sell fluffy cow coffee, right? And so we all have a product that is a need in a marketplace. So how big is that need? So when we watch this, you got to think about this question. Nobody on this planet is going to get out of here alive, right? So if declining health is something we have to simply accept, or the part of getting older. There's a chronological age and there's a biological age. What you're going to learn about right now will give you an ability to affect that perspective just by doing some very, very simple things. And this is where, in my opinion, science will be moving more and more a ton in the future. You just get the chance to benefit now. Okay, so what we know is we've been told forever, genes you got, the health you got, right? That's just what happens. I'm gonna tell you it's different. My mom passed away in her early 60s. Her dad lived in 93, her mom lived in 97. She never smoked, she never drank. She died of a cancer that's only supposed to happen to smokers. She had phenomenal genetics. She controlled the things that she knew to control. Yet she still manifested the disease because of environmental exposure she didn't know existed. So the answer is in the genes, but the genes are not the answer. The environment and how they interrelate with their genes is the answer. So the things you do to enhance your functioning today and protect your future tomorrow, it depends about how you treat those genes and what they can do. So what we're gonna do, and we're gonna show you a video. that aired back in 2005, where ABC caught wind of this scientist that said that we have this new technology that could actually change the way we do medicine. Right. So when you watch this, really keep in mind, if this is real, who do you know that might benefit? You already heard Kyle's story, what he experienced with the product, right? And now he's going to jump in and do the business. He said, I want to do a business for myself, right? When you watch this, also think about, if this is an opportunity for a business, what might that look like, and what could the potential be? And we'll come back and talk about that, and actually have Sean kind of really dive into that. So here we go.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment. For me, it begins with a blood test.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company.
They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing. The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells.
So, doctor, how often do I take these?
And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment. It's called Protandim, and tests have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age, but taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old. So just what's in this seemingly incredible pill? Well, actually, its roots are very humble. Protandim is a combination of 5 plant ingredients. Some you may know: green tea or turmeric, a spice used in Indian cooking. Others, Withania somnifera and Silybum marianum, are more exotic. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma, all of these, strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease.
Yes,
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically. Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after. Have we turned back the clock? Maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
We do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
The company that makes Protandim says its tests show the pill, made from ingredients used for centuries, is absolutely safe. For more, go to our website at abcnews.com.
Okay. All right. So that was the beginning of the story. That aired in 2005. I didn't watch that video until 2014. Never saw it. Right. So this may be the first time you've ever seen that. All right. So now what does this mean for you? I'm going to kind of fill you in on what's happened since that. So Protandim NRF2 was made in 2003. Sold on the shelves of like GNC and Rite Aid and places like that. RBC caught wind in 2005, did that. That led to university studies that are published, where there's now 26 published studies you can look up on called PubMed.gov. Yet it still didn't sell well, right? It wasn't until 2009 where it switched distribution methods, where it went to direct sales, that the company grew. All right. So the question would be why? If what they said is really real, and what Kyle is saying, how it's affected his health, and what I've seen clinically, and the changes I'm noticing in patients that I've treated for decades, and the results I'm now getting now that I wasn't getting before, if it's really real, why did it not grow? Because no one even knew it existed. Let alone they didn't understand this idea or this concept that you could actually tap into your genetic potential. We talk about it, but we didn't have a way to do it. Now you're seeing all over the place being published a concept called biohacking, which is finding ways to tap into your body's inborn ability to heal and repair. That's right in line in the chiropractic philosophy. We believe the body can heal itself. The question is why doesn't it, and what tools or strategies and things we can do to activate that response. Okay, so in the video you heard this term oxidative stress. So there's really three major theories of aging that we'll touch on. One of them is oxidative stress. Bottom line is, when you age, in metal they call it rust. In us, we call it different conditions. All right. So this oxidative stress doesn't happen all the time. It happens when you eat, when you walk, when you breathe, when you stress, and it affects every tissue and organ of your body. All right. So your body is always trying to counteract that. And we've all seen somebody's life where their stress goes really high and they look like they age fast. What happened is there became so much oxidative stress and so little repair, you could visibly see it. Well, other people feel it in how they move or don't move, how they sleep or don't sleep, how they have energy or don't have energy, the way they're able to control their mind or not. All right. So if this process in every single human, what if you understood there was a switch designed in us? If you could turn that switch on, it can manufacture things to keep that oxidative stress response under control. That's what exactly we're talking about. Not only is there a concept, but there's an applicable way, right? So oxidative stress is caused by all these different things, like I kind of mentioned, anything from diet to lack of diet to too much exercise to stress. And what we've seen, obviously, in the last few weeks of our existence is the whole world went through a tremendous amount of stress together, which will create huge opportunities for us to look at the world differently and taking personal control back of your body. Right? And that's what this is literally about. So now you have a way. So literally this switch is called the NRF2. It's a specific protein. When it's turned on, your body manufactures the big cleanup guys called enzymes that clean up the debris. All right. This product is made of 5 natural ingredients: milk thistle, bacopa, ashwagandha, green tea, and turmeric. You think, well, that's not that big a deal. And I have to admit, I thought the same thing. Because a patient of mine brought this in years ago, said, this has really helped me. I looked at it and said, well, it doesn't like anything special. But nobody showed me that video. Nor did anybody tell me we can say it lowered oxidative stress by average 40% in 30 days. What that would mean, and what if you could heal 40% faster in 30 days? Right? And then that continues month after month. To me, I liken that. What if you could lower your expenses or increase your financial money every month by 40%? What would you fix around your house? What bills would you pay off? What money would you save? And then what vacation would you eventually take? That's what your cells are doing, right? And this happens because your body's producing these big enzymes, like you'll see on that left, which you don't need to know the name, superoxide dismutase and catalase and glutathione. Your body produces those when this switch is turned on. And now all you have to do to turn that switch on is literally take this little yellow pill. This got incredible amount of research to back it up, but the concept was key. Just like the idea of this Zoom or this phone call, this phone here, you guys, with this phone just allows me to communicate in ways I didn't know before. This pill allows your cell to communicate and turn on switches in a way we didn't know before. Now, how big a deal is that? It's giant, okay? Because in the past, what we knew, and we've done this for years with patients, is you're just trying to get them to eat cleaner, right? Eat more of the fruits and vegetables that have antioxidants, right? So, and what happened when you take a molecule of vitamin C, it kills one bad guy. When you turn on this switch inside the cell, it literally turned on switches to produce these antioxidants where it kills 1 million free radicals per second, every second. And that's the power of having intracellular healing versus trying to do healing from the outside in. Okay. Someone asks me all the time, well, if this is really that real, why isn't it sold on the cells of GNC and things like that? Why did the FDA approve it? Great question. The FDA approved only approved medications. Okay, that's one reason. Okay, The other side of that, I don't really want to have a disease to have the benefit. That's the other side of this, okay? And is this valid? Well, that's a great question, right? How come my doctor didn't tell me about it? Well, one, they probably don't know about it. But if you're going to look up for true validation, independent of anybody else, you'd go to a website called PubMed.gov. This is the National Institutes of Library Health website, and you can look up studies published on Protandim NRF2, the actual product, not the ingredients, but the product. And this is super unique. With all the 200 products my dad created, we don't have any studies that are published or peer-reviewed, right? Because it's phenomenally expensive. Why did that happen with Protandim? Because the ABC did the investigative report, positive results, led to tons of universities wanting to study, which has led to all these different studies. You can read it. So valid is huge. Now, how big a deal is that though from a product standpoint when you're sharing with other people? We want to know, is it real? Number one, is it safe? Is it real? Is it effective? Well, you have these research studies to back it up, okay? Big university, not little, big one. Ohio State, I did one on heart disease specifically. LSU did one on skin cancer specifically, right? American Heart Association published in their journal, right? How it reduce fibrosis in the heart, like giant universities. Okay, and here's the summary of all these studies. NRF2, right? This is Washington State said this. NRF2 is likely to become the most important health promoting approach in the foreseeable future. NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary breakthrough in the history of medicine. There have been some super cool things that happen in medicine, but what if they're right? What if this technology, understanding their genetic switches, and we can find ways to activate those switches, it can literally allow us to tap into the body's natural ability to heal. What if? Well, you have a groundbreaking ability to not only help people to a higher level health-wise, as far as getting healthy, but also prevention, right? But what if you could help share that message? How many lives would you touch? Think about Kyle's life and how different it is because of this thing that he started taking. It's helped him where he didn't have to back up the airplane to get in. But on top of that, that has given him options financially that he wouldn't have before had his wife not done the business. Okay, so there's switches that control your body cleanup. That's the NRF2. There are other switches that control your body's ability to make energy. Everything in your body takes energy to do, whether that's cleanup or repair. The person responsible for that or the power plant known as the mitochondria. With age, the mitochondria declines in effectiveness and also in numbers, right? So the solution is to activate this protein called NRF1, and it's made up of, again, 5 natural ingredients, but what it does, it increases your body's ability to manufacture energy known as ATP, it's a molecule, and also by helping protect the chromosome, which makes new mitochondria. So now you get the ones you have working better, your body can make new ones, right? Well, what do people feel? They typically feel improved quality of sleep. They'll feel improved cognition, brain health, help to support a normal circulatory and cardiovascular system. What does that mean for you and I? Again, more focus, more energy to do the thing we're designed to do, right? But at the same time, then your body can repair things that have been putting off because it didn't have the energy to do so. And how might you feel that? I don't know. But the reality is a lot of people don't feel anything until it's too late, right? So if you're waiting to feel something, that's a problem because 50% of people that have heart attacks, their number one and their first symptom is they're dead, all right? And as a culture, we're reactionary. So what I'm saying, and not everybody does something in their health strategy, even if it's a little bit. Maybe it's their eating, maybe it's their sleep, maybe it's who they play with, maybe it's their recreation or exercise. Well, it's all going to help someone. What if you knew that there were these switches and all you do is flip them on, and all you do to flip them on was take something? Then that could be a very solid part of your foundation for your health strategy. Okay, then there's what's called known as the sirtuin or NAD theory of aging. So you're hearing a lot about this through what the process was called intermittent fasting, because to activate these molecules that's known as sirtuins, all right? Sirtuins are designed as communication systems, right? And what they do, they're responsible for a whole bunch of different health benefits, from mental and physical energy to motivation, mood, cardiovascular health, maintaining healthy cholesterol levels, joint health, healthy DNA function, and a healthy inflammatory response. That's a ton, so really everything, okay? It literally works with the communication of the cell, which we've all seen in relationships for business when communication fails. Once sirtuin activity is not there, that communication doesn't happen. And up till before, the only way of actually really taking advantage of this was by caloric restriction and drastic caloric restriction. Well, guess what? Now we know from laboratory we can take an NAD protandem and turn on that switch, again made up of natural ingredients. And what the benefit is, supports healthy longevity. All right, so aging gracefully, improve mental focus and concentration, supports positive mood and motivation, boosts mental and physical energy, supports the body's healthy inflammatory response, which is huge because you want the body to deal with inflammation but not over exaggerate it. Okay, maintain cholesterol levels in a healthy range and support a healthy vascular system. All right, so this is what we call the tri-synergide. This is the foundation of what we recommend people take, because you're tying into the three biggest theories of aging. And when people feel like they feel today, so every single one of you on this call, the way you feel today is a result of how well every one of those trillions of cells are functioning. Brain cells, skin cells, nerve cells. You feel the way you feel. You perform the way you perform today based upon how your cells are functioning, based upon what you're doing or not doing for them, right? And now you have an ability to tap into that. So here's a visual description, because it's you know, you're like, okay, what does this switch thing mean, right? So protandem tri-synergide, what we've asked as the scientific board is like, okay, which one is doing what? So we know we can now measure this. And this is super exciting to me because in the past, I've used supplements forever, saw good results on blood work, right? But I never could actually prove, right, what it was doing necessarily through lab work. Well, here they tested it, right? So think about a way to actually check how much induction happens when you take an NRF2 in the specific gene that controls the body's ability to control detoxification. Well, when those cells were given NRF2, it literally upregulated that response by 40%. When it combined with NRF1, NRF2, and the NAD protandem, it went from a 40% increase to a 73% increase. The same thing happened with another one related to inflammation. It went from a 50% increase to an 838% increase. All right, so if I could get all my kids to clean, that'd be nice. Could I get them faster? Imagine your cells functioning 50% better or 838% better. What might happen? Okay, the same thing happened with NRF1. The NRF1 by itself increased by 64%. When you put them in all three together, 84%. And 69 and 118. And again, look at NAD, 12% by itself combined with the protandem NRF2 and NRF1, 127% and 226%. And that makes sense because for years, as a clinician, my dad would always tell me, the more right thing we can do, that's what the 6 Steps to Wellness was born from. The more right things we can do at the same time, the effect is not 1 + 1 + 1 = 3, and that 1 + 1 + 1 can literally equal 13 or 25. It's exponential, right? And that's the same thing with stress. The more stress you have, that can be an exponential bad side, but the more things you do together in the right way, you can have exponential benefit in how your body functions. All right. So what LifeVantage has then done is they say, how do we then affect people in a massive way through this new idea of technology of activating gene responses? So they've applied it through what's called a vitality stack, right? So somebody that wants to take something super simple, well, great. Every single day, guess what? Me and my kids take it's a vitality stack with the NAD. So it's got my fish oil with vitamin D, my NRF1, NRF2, and NAD. It's got my probiotic with beta glucan to help my immune response. Every single day, me and my kids take that. Okay, why? Not because I have something, but it's because I want to function well today, and I want to be able to prevent stuff that I don't know is out there. Like my mom, she had no idea, right? So for me, I want to do what I can today to function well, but also help with longevity long term tomorrow. The Axial, which is here, that's the brain drink. That's what I've been drinking. Okay, so think of NRF2 activation, but for brain. So think about functioning on all cylinders, like being focused into the zone, getting more done in a day. That's what this slide you, but the effects are cumulative. So imagine your brain learning better, faster, and retaining it longer. That to me is what Axial is, okay? The ProBio I mentioned, it's very probiotic with timeless technology. Omega-3s, if you're not taking omega-3 fish oils, you absolutely should, because every cell in the body needs it. The question now becomes where you getting it from. In this situation, we're dealing with the fish oil that literally come from, we can trace from the boat back to the fish. So we know where it came from, we know how pure it is. It's got a natural source of vitamin D. You have a weight management stack that allows you to address weight management from a nutrigenomic perspective, the True Science skincare. Again, imagine putting protein nerve 2 on your skin, right? Super cool study at LSU showing reduction of melanomas by activating nerve 2. So they put it into a topical. Love this stuff. I haven't used actually shaving cream for almost 5.5 years now because I've been using this. Then there's hair care, okay? Nerve 2 activation for hair, and then pet tandem nerve 2 activation for pets. Okay, what you're seeing is at Life Fitness, what unique niches can we tap into to help people? And when I see each of these products, what I think about are individuals that are coming into a doctor's office or looking for a friend or searching online because they have a specific challenge that they're faced with. And some of them it's maybe weight, some of it's maybe their skin, like a little girl I saw today with severe acne, to somebody that they just don't feel good, to somebody that's got digestive issues, to somebody that's just dealing with hormone issues. I see people that are needing these products and allowed us to activate the G switches. As long as they're a mammal, these things will work in them. Okay, powerful. It's made my job much easier because instead of using 200 products now, I use a handful. I don't have to guess if they're going to work. If they're a mammal and I get it into them, I know their body, if they stay on it long enough, is going to make changes because the way they feel today is not a result of what happened yesterday. It's what's been going on for years. So if they give it the right amount of time, and this becomes a long-term strategy, not only are they going to feel better, but they're going to become better because their cells are going to be able to perform the way they're designed to perform. Okay. So when I started doing this, I did it, number one, because I saw what I saw in a little boy. And I knew that I'm gonna shift screen, let Sean use his. I just knew what kind of doctor would I be if I didn't share it. Okay, that was my first thought. But at the same time I first saw this, a company my dad was teaching for, where his was literally let go. So the company him and I were teaching for, so his income went away overnight. This is the second time it happened in 20 years of me working with him. And I thought, I don't want to spend another 20 years and have somebody just decide that they didn't want us. And I realized, that Carrie that had brought me into the business, like she had built a bigger business in 5 years than we had in 20. And she had no medical background. At that point in time, I was super ignorant in network marketing, didn't understand it, really kind of just had no idea what it do, right? But when I started doing it, guys, I can tell you right now, today I'm so grateful I have. When the 2009 market hit, it hit us hard. And as a business owner, it was tough. 8 weeks ago, when this thing hit, because I am now a Pro 7 with the company, I make good money here because I've worked with people, help me learn how to build teams. The stress was not even a tenth of what it was then. Yeah, it affected me. Watching people struggle, but because I had built something with help, it felt different, right? So Kyle, grateful that you gave me an opportunity to be involved with this. Thankful for your kindness and there in San Antonio years ago. I'm grateful that you're jumping in because there are a lot of people just like you that this whole last 8 weeks, I think has really hit a lot of people hard. And I know in your life, there's things that hit hard and there's people that need this. So I'm grateful to be part of this. Guys, the products are life-changing. Put them into your body. They only work when they go in. You don't have to guess if they work. Give them time. Give them time to do their magic, right? And they are part of your health strategy. And when I look at health strategy and budgeting for health strategy, I look at what people spend on their coffee. I look at what people spend on their exercise gym membership they don't use, and a lot of other things that they rationalize and they de-rationalize doing this. Do your budget, put it in your body, watch the magic happen. One of the first people I met through this process was Sean, and hearing his story of his wife and watching what they built together as a couple is inspiring. And as far as medical, like I feel like I really understand that well. Maybe I'm the expert on this